Greetings, comrades. We hope you are okay wherever you are. We are here to respond to your questions. Please write your questions in the comment section. We will respond to them. We also want to discuss the prospect of those that are returning back to Zimbabwe after the expiring of the Zimbabwe exemption permits. All along, we've been talking about options of applying to move to other visas. We've done numerous videos, and we hope that the majority of you have benefited from the information that you are sharing with you free of charge. We've discussed the application to move to a general work visa. We've discussed the application for a business permit or business visa. We've discussed for a critical visa if you want to apply for a critical visa. We have discussed about 4 videos the issue of waivers. We defined that what we have not done, which we think is important that we do, is to discuss what one can do when they eventually get back to Zimbabwe, because it is clear that a number of holders of ZEP do not qualify to move to other visas. Yes, there is a court case that is coming up in mid-April. For now, we do not know what is going to happen. The court might rule in favor of holders of ZEP, or it might rule against the holders of ZEP. So let's prepare ourselves for the worst, that it rules against the ZEP. What then happens when you then return back to Zimbabwe? The first thing that one needs to do is to ensure that they get all their benefits in South Africa, because you have been working for more than 13 years or so. It's important that you apply for your provident fund and the other benefits that are due to you, so that you can use that money to start a new life in Zimbabwe. For those that would want to return back to Zimbabwe. So make sure that you advise your employer in time, possibly 3 months before the expiry of the grace period, that is 30th of June 2023. Give notice to employer 3 months before to say, on the 30th of June 2023, I will end working for you because I will not be able to move to another visa, and they will be going back to Zimbabwe. So it's important to give notice 3 months before, so that they can prepare all what is due to you, which then needs to be paid to you, so that you are able to start a new life in Zimbabwe. The second issue that you might want to do when you get back to Zimbabwe, I was listening to an interview that I did in 2014 on Studio 7, when the DZP was closed down, and then Minister Malus Gigabet announced the introduction of the Zimbabwe special permit. And I was saying in that interview that the 3 years was the final 3 years. That was in 2014. So I was saying is the final 3 years, 2017, the permits are not going to be renewed as per the sticker in the permit. So you might start preparing to do farming in Zimbabwe, whether ufuna ukuyafuya inkukhu or imbuzi or inkomo, you need to start getting thinking of getting into cooperatives in Zimbabwe, so that you are able as a team to do a cooperative. I have seen, which we discussed in this YouTube channel, where the people of Bulilima came together. They pulled the resources together. They are busy drilling boreholes. Some of them are on ZEP, but some are on other visas. But for those that are on ZEP, that are preparing to go back to Zimbabwe, that is, if they do not qualify already, they are preparing to start some irrigation schemes in their villages. So it's something that you might also want to do in your village, because you can come together. Maybe you are 10, you get land In rural areas, there's lots of land. Some people are no longer using their fields. You do not need to apply for land for resettlement, but you can use the old fields that are no longer being plowed. You drill a borehole, you fence it as a team, it's a cooperative, and you start an irrigation scheme. Comrade Kenneth Ndlovu says, sisenkingeni mabhena kodwa sizowathola ama-permit. We remain positive, Comrade Kenneth Ndlovu, but at the same time, we need to have plan B to say if permits are not renewed, you are unable to move to another visa, what does the future look like for you? Comrade Arnold Ncube says, sikuzamile comrade manje abalungu bavele bathi zaliqhatsha lingelancwadi sizobona sesikhonale impela asisayenzi what to do, or you're trying to say asakwazi what to do. You need Comrade Arnold Ncube, even if you were employed before the ZEP, but later on in 2010 you had a permit, and for the 13 years you have been working as a legal worker in South Africa. You have been paying tax, you are registered, you have a right to your provident fund and other benefits, because this money will certainly benefit you if you are to go back to Zimbabwe. Comrade Nkululeko, you need Comrade Arnold Ncube to speak to your union. I'm not sure if you have a union, but you need to do so that they get to assist you to get your benefits. Like I'm saying, it's important that you give notice 3 months before, so that you are able to get all your benefits. Or you might want to do, depending on the outcome of the court case. Let me put it in this way. Say, assuming the court rules against the holders of ZEP, immediately you then need to notify your employer that because you are unable to move to another visa, and the court has ruled against the holders of ZEP, so therefore you do not think that by 1st of July 2023 you will still be working for them. So it means they have to assist you so that you are able to move. Comrade Nkululeko Sithole says, siyabonga mabhena usizo lwakho, umbuzo nje ama-spouse permit bathini ngawo, selokhu ngasubmitha ngoJuly until now akula